Welcome to M&A Talk, the #1 podcast on all things related to mergers and acquisitions. Brought to you by Morgan and Westfield.
What is exit planning exactly?
Exit planning is when you as a business owner, you and your partners choose what the desired outcome is. Is this a business that you will begin from the very beginning, ideally, build value within the business to allow you to have a variety of interested prospective buyers that you could then work with, negotiate with, and then choose the ideal buyer based not only on the sales price, but also on the other conditions that you may have in front of you. So as you create a plan for this, you then have the opportunity to reverse engineer this. So let's say you'd like to start your business, and as my husband and I did, we ended up with our friends selling that business within 7 years. We knew from day one. So we were able to reverse engineer and make sure that we put our strategies, our processes, our systems into place that would be attractive to our targeted acquirer.
How long have you been coaching business owners in terms of exit planning for?
Since 2016.
Okay, so for quite a while. And what percentage of business owners do you think have an exit plan in place, in your humble estimation?
This is a difficult question. As far as my personal experience with my clients, about 1%.
1%?
Yes. However, PricewaterhouseCoopers, in their biannual family business survey, they list that about 23% of family businesses do have exit plans, but less than 23% have actually communicated that plans to the management team or to the other family members.
Why do you think that number is so low?
Okay, now I'm going to go back to my history as a therapist. I think part of it is that we have difficulty with our own mortality. We also, as people, are hardwired to look at the threats in the environment. And so oftentimes we are very busy as business owners, putting out fires, feeling as though we have to be the people making the key decisions, that we have to be the people driving the charge. And those types of mindsets really keep business owners from working on the business, not just in the business. And that perspective is an important shift to make if your listeners do plan to sell their businesses at some point.
So I know the people listening to this show, probably the business owners listening to this show, saying, okay, yeah, I want to do that. I want to work on my business. I'm trying. I know what to do. But where do you think the disconnect is? Why do you think a lot of times it just doesn't happen?
First of all, I think people feel overwhelmed. And what I would like to say to those owners who say they don't have the money for help, they don't have the time for help, they don't have the energy to add on another person, many times having additional people who are ready and waiting to step in to offer different experiences, perspectives, and advice in many situations, they do have the chance to help the owner increase their capacity, help the owner expand their capabilities, and really take on what these other advisors recommend. I'm going to give you a great example. So often business owners who want to sell their businesses, they hang on to the attorney that helped them and the accountant that helped them in the very beginning. Those people may be fraternity or sorority acquaintances. They may be college friends. They may be law school friends, whatever. But if those people don't have the experience with preparing a business's books to be sold, or preparing an owner legally to navigate that sales process, those are not the right advisors to have, Jacob. Even though psychologically we might feel very comfortable with those people because we know them, we have a long association with them. Oh, they know what the business has been through. They don't have what it takes to help that owner be fully prepared to make an informed decision when at the negotiation table.
How long, on average, does it take to prepare an exit strategy for most business owners?
I feel like the plan itself takes very little time. And planning it as far in advance as possible, it takes even less time. What the plan is sort of a guide, right? Because as the business landscape changes, and goodness knows we're all familiar with that over the last couple of years, but if the business landscape changes, it does have an impact on the plan. So if you, for example, create an exit plan and you start executing that plan 5 years in advance, well, the plan is a guide for step by step, month by month, week by week, quarter by quarter, year by year of what you're going to do, what steps you're going to take to get you to the place where you're going to put your business out in the marketplace. And a business owner that I was speaking with not too long ago basically said, 5 years, there's so much to be done. Yes, there is. But if you do it in 5 years in advance, even if you did something one thing a month, you'd have 48 steps closer to where you're going to be.
M&A Talk is brought to you by Morgan & Westfield, a nationwide leader in mergers and acquisitions for small to mid-market companies. If you've enjoyed this show, don't forget to subscribe and leave a review. Learn more at morganandwestfield.com. While we take reasonable care to select recognized experts for our podcast, please note that each podcast presents the independent opinions of such experts only, and not of Morgan & Westfield. We make no warranty, guarantee, or representation as to the accuracy or sufficiency of the information provided. Any reliance on the podcast information is at your own risk. The podcast is for general information only and cannot be considered legal or professional advice.